Hi, this is Indecent Descent. This will be my first video. This series of videos isn't meant to be watched by a large number of people or even to profit off of it or really to entertain somebody. It is mainly just to say things I don't normally say, to get them out into the open and so people can either listen for them, but it's mainly for my mental health benefit. Just to, I don't know, it's easier to say things to a camera rather than a person sitting across from me. So I feel like I could benefit from this. So, here's where I'll start. My name is Bjorn Carlson. I was born to a mother and a father, both at a young age. My mother was 22 and my father was a couple years older than her. I was not expected or planned for in many cases. My mother and father were actually planning on, they were split up actually. They were breaking up, moving apart from each other, and then my mom found out that she was pregnant with me, and so they got back together and got married for, I believe, personal reasons. Maybe it had something to do with religion, but I believe it was just mostly personal reasons. I was born in 2004, so I'm 21 years old. I live in the middle of nowhere in Minnesota. My life has been as exciting as life can get out in the middle of nowhere. I have had the opportunity to witness quite a few things. I've had very exciting experiences in life. My life has definitely been eventful. You could say that. To preface my childhood and growing up, my mother and father were not great parents. And I think they tried to do what they thought was best, but they had no idea what they were doing, and they weren't exactly stable or healthy themselves, so they made a lot of mistakes. I'll just leave it at that and not get too deep into it for this one. I was bullied quite a bit growing up. I was very short, very skinny, scrawny, so I was pushed around and picked on. What can you do? Living in the middle of nowhere, it's kind of, some of the bullies felt like classic bully from the 80s who pushes people into lockers and knocks down people's books. And then other people were completely modern and really only went to social media and starting rumors, and more so social and psychological bullying, not so much physical. School life was difficult. I was not doing well academically my first 2 years of high school, and then I switched schools and started doing very good academically until some problems arose. Eventually, I did graduate, and I moved into an apartment. I moved into my partner's sister's house for the time being. As soon as I turned 18, I just kind of wanted to separate myself from my parents. And yeah, that was those very good times. Even though a lot of stuff went down with me and that ex, I still look back on all those fondly, and I'm still not sure why. I feel like I should be angry or sad about it, but I don't know. It was out kind of in the middle of nowhere, but in the good way. There's nobody around you. There were deer that would come into your backyard. There were gophers that I actually got to feed a few times. And they kept wondering why the gophers kept coming back. And like digging into the garage and getting into the bird seed or whatever kind of food they had over there. May or may not been because I was leaving food out for them because I thought they were cute. I doubt they'll ever see this, but yeah, that's my little confession there. Very peaceful, very good introduction to independence. Unfortunately, I wasn't ready for all of that independence, and I've found even with more years and maturity, it is difficult to take care of myself and do all the daily tasks that normal people do. And I tend to struggle a lot. But before this, my ex's sister moved to a larger city, closer to whatever she wanted to be closer to. I think her other sister. And me and my partner moved into an apartment in city or the town I grew up in. And it was decent, but I guess I just wasn't ready. I don't know. I can't blame it all on my parents, but I was used to bed rotting and I don't know. My parents had their own problems themselves, and yeah, I don't think they were all in all, there were definitely some good moments for my parents, but they didn't go above and beyond in the parenting level. They gave me what I needed to survive and grow up and make quite a few mistakes, but it's not completely their fault of why I can't take care of myself. I should have applied more initiative into learning useful skills, or going to therapy more often, or getting medicated. I don't know. Change is very difficult for me. I'm not diagnosed to be on the autism spectrum, but a lot of doctors have asked if I am after a few minutes of talking. So it's very possible that I am. But yeah, change is really difficult for me. So going out and learning a new skill, or changing how I do things, or taking new medication, or seeing a new doctor, or moving, or changing jobs, or my job changing what it does, or my job telling me to do something I've never done before and just go do it. Even little changes can kind of make me panic, and it makes it very difficult to navigate life. But yeah, we moved to that apartment. My ex and I split. There was a whole bunch of reasons, but I don't need to get into that or hash that out over the internet. I do believe that I don't know. I have a lot of opinions on why. I do believe I am mostly at fault for the relationship ending. I definitely wasn't putting in enough effort and made a lot of mistakes and probably said some pretty nasty things in fits of depression or frustration. I regret them, but there's nothing I can do about it now. I've apologized for them. On the other hand, I do believe that neither of us was ready for that level of commitment right out of high school, because we've been together since senior year, basically, since around the start of senior year. So I don't think either of us were really ready for all of that all at once. We kind of jumped into it, and the more we spent together, the more we realized little things annoyed us. I wasn't putting in the effort that I needed to. I kind of just took everything for granted, and I don't know. I had no balance of adult life and freedom, doing whatever I wanted. I just wanted to go out or stay in or just do whatever I wanted. Now that I had all this freedom, it was interesting how all of that freedom led to a lot of mistakes and incidents during that time. We split up. I moved to another city, moved back to my hometown. A lot of incidents and happenings here and there. Moved in with my father for a bit. Things didn't work out. Moved in with my mother. And then I moved back to the city I had moved out to when me and my ex broke up. I got into a couple relationships here and there, very few serious ones. My last serious one recently ended. But yeah, I guess the main purpose of venting in this video was just basic information, a basic storyline of where I am now. I am living in an apartment with cockroaches everywhere. I have over a dozen traps set. They're supposed to kill cockroaches at the nest. I have a special spray that you're supposed to spray and then leave the room after you spray it. Everything here is breaking. The things that heat up on the stove, they wiggle, so you almost can't put a pot on it. And the heat is irregular. Sometimes it'll just be at a certain height and it'll just spike, and everything you're looking at will just bubble over. There's quite a few things wrong with this apartment. There are things falling apart, baseboards that just aren't connected to the walls. I don't even think the heater works. If it does, I have no idea how. Utilities are extremely expensive for this area. I still think I'm overpaying or maybe being double charged somehow. I have no idea how. But yeah, my main issue is the cockroaches. My neighbors aren't the greatest. They can be loud and argue. That's not fun. The place is dirty. We did get new management and things have been changing. I've seen that. But I'm just disappointed on how much money I can spend to live here and how little support I can get from, like, my money doesn't really go anywhere and do anything. I'm spending all this money and they're not using it on the building. So it's like, why am I paying you guys? But I can't move anywhere else because obviously this is the place I can afford. And probably won't be able to afford it for much longer. Actually, let's dive into this section. I am struggling very hard financially after, for lack of better words, working my ass off. I have sustained knee injuries. I've thrown my back out more times than I can count. I have been through very harsh manual labor jobs that don't seem harsh for other people. I don't know why. I'm just not built for it, but it's the only places that are hiring, or the only places that will hire me for some reason. Maybe I just don't have too many skills that jobs are looking for these days. I'm not sure. I am decently good at manual labor jobs now after so much experience, but it's still very difficult for me, and I've kind of broken myself apart piece by piece for no money at all at the end of the day, and I just go home, sleep, and go back the next day. So I quit, and next month I'll pay rent, and utilities is another question. I don't think I'm gonna be able to afford them. I've made a lot of mistakes in life, like a lot. But recently, over the past year or so, I've been just trying as hard as I can to be a decent person. And over the past couple years, I've just been trying to improve that way. But I don't know. I remember some sort of old saying that adults used to say to you when you're a kid, that if you work hard and be a good person, good things will happen to you, but it's not true in my experience. I worked hard. I was a good person. Always polite, even to people I didn't particularly want to be around. I extended common courtesy. I did a lot of good things and gave a lot of people the benefit of the doubt, even after they weren't exactly the greatest to me. But now I just kept losing money and nothing really happened. Like, no good things happened. I just kind of kept having less and less money over time, but also at the same time nothing happened. Like, nothing good. A couple bad things, but nothing like, this is amazing, this is what I've been working for, or this is all that good karma paying off. Just blech. That's what life was. I'm struggling to I don't know. let's dive real deep real quick. Okay, so when I was a kid, I was clearly different from everybody else, and I didn't have any friends. So I started performing, you could say, doing things to make people laugh, or acting a certain way to fit in with people, and I just never stopped. And now I'm in this spot where I don't know if I'm still performing, even when there's nobody around. I don't know what kind of person I am. I don't know, like, what my comfortable self is. I feel like I'm just this person that's been built off of copying the personalities of other people so I can fit in. And it's gotten me nowhere. I still make people uncomfortable just by being around. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm trying to say is I'm having a very difficult time figuring out what kind of person I am, or who I am, or what I'm gonna do. And I've heard this said millions and millions of times. You're so young, you have so much time to figure it out. I don't feel like I do. This isn't in a depressing or looming way like I'm going to do something. I have this feeling like I don't have decades and decades left. I don't know why that is. It's just, I have that feeling all the time. Like, I feel like I'm already middle-aged and only 21. But I'm struggling. Mentally, financially, physically. I've called for support. I go to psychiatrists. Reached out for financial support, and then next month the government is taking it away because of the shutdown. And I don't really want to get political, but it's affecting me right now. There's so much out there. I really just want a clear list set out in front of me. Like, this is what you could do. This is where you could live. And this is what life would be like. I don't have any motivation to do anything. Music used to be my motivator, and that's gone now. Like, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing with a person in my situation, and nothing is going my way. And I guess it's just how it is sometimes. It's not fair, and it shouldn't be like that, but that's just how it is. But I'm struggling. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's a terrible way to end the first video. But this isn't for entertainment purposes, so I guess it doesn't really matter. If anybody watches this and you're curious, the next couple videos will be diving deeper into different parts of my life. Isn't that so exciting? But yeah, I don't know what I'm hoping to get out of this rather than just talking. Because I feel like talking helps. Even if it's to nobody, but I need to say these things out loud so they're not just like, because when they're memories in my head, they don't feel real, but saying them out loud makes them feel real, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but yeah, wow. If anybody has watched this besides myself, why? Thanks. Tell me if you understand at all. I mean, I guess I'm not looking for like a Reddit board of comments talking about their own experiences, but I gotta do yourself, man. Do whatever you gotta do. But yeah, thanks, and I'll be here just trying to figure out who I am. Yeah.